It's time for high pulls, squats, back extensions, all that good stuff. I started off with a more explosive exercise, so high pulls, and 65 kilos was the weight that I was going to move this time. I feel like I can get higher in weight and still be somewhat controlled on the high pulls. For 4 to 6 reps, I think it's a good rep range for this exercise. But I was noticing that there was a bit less hip extension and a bit more jumping with the bar. That I noticed more in the second set, where after 4 reps, I was feeling like I was losing power generation to a high degree, and I can see now here that I'm not really fully extending the hips. I kind of am helping myself out in a way that I would probably do in a push press. So my knees bend a bit more than I would like, and there is a bit of a lesser contribution from the bigger muscles of the glutes, and that should be the prime movers of something like this. In the third set, I was aware of that, but still probably a bit fatigued by the movement with a slightly heavier weight that I'm only doing every other week anyways. I haven't found a way to implement this more frequently in my sessions. Still thinking about a way to go around this, because I'm doing squatting twice a week and a lot of explosive stuff in the form of sprints, jumping a bit less nowadays, but I would like to get back into those also. So if I can get a loaded exercise that is also an explosive and dynamic movement on top of stuff like weighted jumps, I think that the high pulls are a very good exercise in this context. Or also something like power cleans that I've never done before, but I should probably learn at this point. I think they would be beneficial. Squats, I wanted to get 6 reps in the first set. Wasn't able to, or at least I didn't want to push it too hard. The 5th rep on that first set was rather difficult. I felt like I had maybe one more, but I didn't really want to grind it out. And I was still able to maintain good body positioning. I was composed, and I actually saw an approving face from the guy next to me, who is a very good squatter. He was repping 160 for 5 reps for many sets, and I had a chat afterwards. He was complimenting my form, so that was good. I was telling him that I would like my squat to look like he is at those kind of weights. He lifts like almost twice as much as I do. But sooner or later, maybe not 160, let's aim for 100 for reps, and then 120, and then let's see how it goes. But yeah, squats, kept it at a safer volume for a couple of sets. I did 2 sets of 5. So I was able to get 5 in the second one, probably was able to get a 6 in the first one, just didn't want to risk anything. Especially because I had some extra work that was going to tax the lower back a bit more, which was the back extensions. And on top of those, I was supersetting that with some one arm rows. So a bit of an extra tax, if I could say that, on the low back, always isometrically, but still at this point, I do feel like there is a bit of tightness down there. Even though I'm leaning against the machine, at this point, after doing squats and back extensions, and also the dynamic work with the high pulls before, the low back is pretty cooked at this moment. But I was able to get an extra rep on the first set for both these, for both hands on the one arm rows. And what I want to be progressing through is, again, something like maybe 7 to 10, something like that, for each arm, because I'm mainly putting this as at the end of the session. So I'm not really prioritizing the back work as much, or at least the upper back work as much. The low back is definitely work in this session. I feel like I should be going for heavy weights, but a bit lower repetitions. This session is mainly staying between a 5 to 10 or 12 rep range. I'm probably gonna go to 12 with the back extensions, and I'm very close to going up in weight on that. The next increase on those preloaded barbells is 35 kilos, so it's gonna be a big jump. And if I get 2 sets of 12 with 30, then I can jump back into doing something like sets of 8 with 35, and slowly progress through those again. Or if I see that 35 kilos is maybe too big of a jump, I could go just as low as 6, maybe not lower than that, or if anything, I'll just make my own weight with another barbell, the small one. Ciao.